Well, is it possible that all of that online shopping you're doing is having an impact on the commercial real estate market in Arkansas? It could be a piece of the puzzle. Joining me to talk business is Carole Smith, Senior Vice President at Delta Trust and Bank. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good to be with you, too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's begin first with what's happening in the residential real estate market. You're a lender, a commercial lender, lending in a lot of variety of different ways at Delta Trust and Bank.
Right.
Home sales in Arkansas for the year trending up about 11% so far. What are you seeing in the housing market in your bank?
Well, we're seeing definitely a big pickup in request and demand for people who are now buying new homes. They're not just refinancing, they're buying new homes. We have a mortgage company at Delta Trust and Bank that handles most of that business, but occasionally the bank will get a spillover of a good client who doesn't qualify in their world. Most times it's someone who wants to buy a new home but hasn't sold their existing home yet, do what we call a bridge loan. We're seeing a huge pickup in that demand.
But there was a lot of refinancing going on, you said, but that does not seem to be the trend at this point in time.
We were doing a lot of refis for the last few years. Now I'm seeing, as we all are, a trend in new home purchases. People that have had some pin-up demand over the last few years, not sure they want to make that investment, they're making it now. And they're making it before they're selling the house they're already in, which we're finding very interesting.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that's an indication of prices are still good in the market. Even though the price of home sales has gone up slightly, I think investors or home buyers are seeing there's still some good deals out there. So they don't mind having two mortgages for a little while. I think they've got some liquidity, their cash flow's good, and they've got some equity in their existing house. So all that works on a bridge loan.
I'm not sure I'm going to be your client for that because I'm not sure I would want to have two mortgages going on at the same time.
Well,
so.
I think they all intend not to do that either, but sometimes those things do happen.
Let's talk about what we're seeing on the commercial lending side here. I hear and have seen that a lot has changed over the last couple of years, particularly as we have been in this post-recession area. You have more, when I talk to other bankers and see what's going on in publicly traded companies, more business owner type deals versus investor type deals. Is that what you're seeing more of?
Yes, and it's what we prefer to see. The banking industry prefers that right now. And yes, the pre-2007 day when you had a group of business people who came in and just put an LLC deal together and built a spec building and went on down the road and it was leased up and banks financed 100% of it, that day's over. And it's over for a couple of reasons. One, banks, due to regulatory requirements that have come into play since the recession, banks are a lot tougher on those deals than they used to be, both from an equity standpoint and from a personal guarantee standpoint, and from a lease-up standpoint.
Yeah, you're wanting to see more pre-leasing too. That's something else I've seen and heard a lot from developers and different folks like that.
We have to prove that the cash flow coming off those leases is going to cover that debt service at least 1.2 times, and you need to prove it to me on the front end. And so that's a little difficult on some of these speculative buildings. We've also, the other piece that's almost as big, if not bigger, is that due to recessionary changes, there's just a lot of available square footage in the market right now for office space. But we went through a negative absorption period where there was more coming on than being leased up. Absorption is still taking place now. And so there's still a deal out there for you. You don't have to go build a building. Yeah,
and a lot of it is just basically what you're saying, if I'm reading between the lines here, is the business is closed, therefore the space is opened up in ways that it might not be preferred, but that's what happened.
They closed, they consolidated, they didn't expand when maybe something was coming online. All those reasons.
What about this growth in internet retailing that I hinted at here in your introduction there? This boom we've experienced in seeing online sales. I can tell you boxes show up on my front doorstep regularly at the Brock household.
Yeah,
we still
Amazon.
do our fair share of shopping in retail, brick and mortar shops here. But I mean, is that playing out in some of these deals that you're seeing?
My real estate experts tell me, because I don't claim to be one, that is now and going to have more and more an effect on retail development, brick and mortar development for the retail business. I mean, people don't, when's the last time you actually went in and spent a whole day shopping in a store? You spent a lot more time online shopping. And that's going to have a huge effect in the growth of real estate building. I think it's a major trend, and so do my experts.
We may just be seeing this on the very front end. So,
yeah.
All right. She's Carole Smith. She is the Senior Vice President for Delta Trust and Bank. As always, great insight, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
I'm Roby Brock. We got to take a final word from our sponsors. We're back to wrap up right after this. This is Talk Business.